from our vantage point, so thank you very much, Daryl. Easy to see. Corey Castell will be also leading from the outside of this heat race number 1 here. Glad you're along with us on this fantastic night, and we are underway off to the green, says Austin Swamp. Getting to the outside is Joe Jock. Joe Jock, your early race leader, heading into turns 1 and 2. Mitchell now on the inside. Down the back stretch they'll go as Zyra now settles into third.
And Mitchell heading off into corners 3 and 4. Joe Jock settling back there in the second spot with Zyra back there in third. But Mitchell, your early leader as he works down in front. Joe Jock and Zyra, your top 3. Daryl Mainville getting quicker out there in that 28. Of course, if you think that car is familiar, it is. Last year, Corey Castell campaigned that car to a third place finish in the points as Matthew Obey rounds out the top 5.
So Mitchell going to settle himself nicely into the first place here early in heat race number 1. Jock is in second, Zyra in third. As they come around, we got a caution as Oban slows to a stop by the pit entrance on turn number 3. So that'll bring up the first yellow of the evening here, Tim. So Mitchell getting
recent to do so. The others were Dave Hayslip in 04 and Jeff Sykes in 2003. So with the competition here, though, anybody's ball game right now. We got to settle Bandit heat number 1. Green flag is out. And I tell you what, Matt Zyra on that 17 has been quick all season as he heads to the outside of Mitchell in turn 2.
Very sharp-looking 17 machine as Mitchell now early into the race lead once again on the backstretch. Here comes Jock to the inside of the 17 of Zyra. The top 3 cars are there. It is Mitchell, Jock, and Zyra. And bringing up the rear of the field is Daryl Mainville. As they come around, we're halfway through heat race number 1.
3 in, 3 more to go. Daryl Mitchell looking pretty strong. Of course, he campaigned street stock last week at Brockville as well, so Daryl's been kind of double dipping in both 4-cylinder Bandit and in semi-pro or street stock competition if you prefer. Up in front off of corner number 4, Mitchell leads the way. A couple of car lengths between him and Joe Jock with 2 laps to go.
2 laps the remaining distance for heat race number 1 tonight for the Bandits. Mitchell settling into that early race lead, has not relinquished it so far. On down the backstretch he'll go. He'll look to set it up in the turns number 3 and 4, followed by Jock and Zyra. Mitchell now to the inside as they come out of turn number 4.
Farewell flag is waving this time by as Austin Swamp has it in the air, and Daryl Mitchell won his first career Bandit feature in his rookie season back in 2010. Daryl, former go-kart champion as well at the Cornwall Motor Speedway back in his junior restricted days in 2002. Brings it up into turns 3 and 4. He's opened up quite a distance now. Joe Jock has his hands full with Matt Zyra. Checkered flag is out, and Daryl Mitchell will win it. Second is still up for grabs as Joe Jock swings it off to the high side. Zyra down low. It'll be Jock, Zyra, your top 3. And Daryl Mainville will cross in spot number 4. So good run for the Bandits. First heat event of the evening is in the mid-2000s, 2003, 2004. It's been a long time since he's been to Victory Lane, but we'll see what happens later tonight.
So it'll be Musa away from the pole in heat race number 2 for the Bandits. Musa off to the early race lead. Now the 29 machine comes to a halt. Couldn't quite find the gear on that one. It is the 29 of Justin DeRozier. Now to the early race lead, it is Stuart Musa, followed by Randy Whiting down the backstretch. Now making the move to the inside is the number 28 machine of Corey Castell.
Castell down to the inside, Randy Whiting to the top side in the number 12, and Castell has the preferred groove down low. He'll take the second spot away. Randy Whiting back there in that third spot. Then it is Gary Charlo has his hands full with Ernie Cree, and Ernie Cree made short work of him. He goes by him for the number 4 spot. DeRocha looking to move up as well, so Charlo losing a couple of spots early in turn number 3 off corner number 4. Battle for the top spot between Musa and Corey Castell.
The man on the move, the man on a mission is the 18 of Ernie Cree. 2 laps in. He started in the rear of this heat race number 2. He's worked his way all up to third. Now to the inside. The 28J of Corey Castell is your new early race leader, followed by Musa. Musa now going to look to go to the low side, coming out of 4. Can he make it work? Can he make it stick? No. Castell continues to lead.
And Castell and Musa 1 and 2, but Ernie Cree is not letting these drivers get away. He heads off into corners 1 and 2, charging hard on the top side. Looks like the bottom is pretty much the place to be right now. We've seen a couple of drivers get high, and Justin DeRocha got a little bit high as well. Lost some ground to Randy Whiting in that 4th spot as Gary Charlo looks to move up into the top 5. 2 laps left to go for Corey Castell.
So Castell continues to lead. We've got 2 laps to go. You're absolutely correct, Mr. Tim Baltz, to the second place. It is the 101 of Stuart Musa. Ernie Cree made up a lot of real estate early in this heat race. but now is having a tough time reeling in the top two cars. Musa now going to try to make it work to the outside of coming into turn 4. And that may open the door just a little bit for Ernie Cree, but Castell continues to lead.
Corey Castell way out in front of this field right now. The battle is going to be for that second spot as Musa has had that car all crossed up for the last couple of laps. Him and Ernie Cree trade a little paint down the backstretch, and Cree sends him around, and a great job of driving out there by Musa to avoid that telephone pole over there. Checkered flag is out. Corey Castell will get the win. Ernie Cree comes home in second. DeRocha will get third, followed by Whiting. The 101 of Musa, and Gary Charlo has pulled it. Number there on the backstretch. We can't make that final car, but we'll watch him as he comes by. We believe that last machine there is Dean Pronovost, but we'll check that as they come by. Green flag is in the air, Brian, and Scott Muir to the early lead.
Scott Muir turned quite a few laps here over the years. Mohawk International Raceway. He's your race leader. Followed up there by the 11M of Mutant, Dean Pronovost, looking his way into the top 3. Can't quite find the handle as he goes into 2. Now he'll drift to the high side. Probably going to shut the machine down, but Scott Muir setting a torrid pace on the field so far.
Absolutely. Brian Green back there. Matt Mutin, we apologize. He's back there in that runner-up spot, giving Muir all sorts of fits going into turns 1 and 2. LaFramboise hanging on to third as Pronovost shuts it down to the outside of corner number 3, and that will bring out the caution here for first time in this 6-heat event for the
Mutant to the inside. Muir, he chooses the outside lane because he is the second car. Now fire away now. It is Matt Mutin in LaFramboise. Looks to take the early race lead here, and he's going to do so if he can get to the bottom. But Mutin continues to lead as they go down the backstretch.
Pulls out to a couple of car lengths down the back straightaway into corner number 3. Sylvain Laframboise is back to the runner-up spot. Then it is Scott Muir rounding out your top 3 at this time as Baby McDonald little shape off of turn number 4 and avoids the wall down here in the front stretch. 4 laps are complete with Matt Mutin, your early leader.
So Scott Muir led it early on, but Mutin has found the groove he likes. He'll take it into turns 3 and 4 to the bottom side, followed by Laframboise, multi-time winner here at Mohawk. Scott Muir will settle into third now as Mutin goes into turns 1 and 2. We've got 2 laps to go.
2 more laps remain. Matt Mutin, who's been pretty strong in this mod-like category, set sail into turns 3 and 4. LaFramboise is trying the bottom side of the speedway as well. Scott Muir follows suit back there in spot number 3. Left front wheel in the air. White flag is flying for Matt Mutin.
1 lap to go. 3 more turns of the steering wheel for Matt Mutin. Matt Mutin has found it very successful here early in the racing season in 2012. But now Laframboise going to dip to the bottom in the Mod Light Heat race number 1. Does he have enough to overtake the race leader, Matt Mutin? And at the line, it is Matt Mutin followed by Laframboise. Scott Muir, and rounding up the field will be McDonald. Along in the back of our good friend, the number 2 of Matt Shantosh. We apologize, Matt, for the last couple of weeks. Glad I had a chance to talk to him and his father. Very nice.
In 2012, 14 of Dean Pronovost, your inaugural race winner here at Mohawk in the Mod Lights, and rounding it out will be the 03 of Dan Reef. Green flag is out. We're underway.
Well, Dean Pronovost, if you remember, last year he had that spectacular crash here going into turns 1, and we got a car slowing to the backstretch, and that is the 88 of Matthew Robinson. Not sure if he's going to have enough power to get back into pit side, but leading the race early on is the 30 of Tim Reef. He's found it up front where he likes it, Tim, but Pronovost is on the move.
And caution will be flying here as Matthew Robinson is stopped right in the middle of turns 3 and 4. He did slow quite a bit coming off of corner number 2 as well, so
it'll be Tim Reef firing away from pole position to the outside of him, the 14 machine of Dean Pronovost. Reef on the field as along with the green flag, but the 03 of Dan Reef slowing just a bit. Now it's a three-way lead for the three-way race for the lead on the inside of the 60 of Waldrift to the outside. trying to make the move here is the 14 of Dean Pronovost. Waldrop now, he's your race leader as Reef will settle back into 4th position. Pronovost in 2nd along with the 11 of Brian Green, who rounds out your top 3.
And Pronovost down to the inside, and Scotty Waldrop, who's had some strong runs in that 60, works down the back straightaway, and Pronovost down low, he grabs the lead going into corner number 3. Waldrop pushed back to 2nd. Brian Green holding down 3rd. He may have a shot at 2nd here as they work up off the corner. He gets by Waldrop at the line, so Brian Green now going to the 2nd spot just behind Pronovost. 3 laps complete, and Pronovost is walking away from the rest of the field.
Pronovost will put the power to the clays. He goes into turns 3 and 4 to the bottom. But now here comes the 60 of Waldrop. The hard charging to the inside. Can't make the pass here on the 11 of Brian Green. Pronovost now sets it up into turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch he goes, Tim. Pronovost likes it up front.
And Pronovost down the backstretch, about a half straightaway lead on that battle for 2nd as Waldrop gets by the 11 of Brian Green going into corner number 3, and now they're going to trade it back coming off of corner number 4. White flag is in the air, and Mutant and Waldrop having it out for the number 2 spot. All this happening behind your leader, Dean Pronovost, as he works his way into corner number 3 for the final time.
The racing action is for the 2nd place. There's Waldrop. He gets into the side of Green, and now Green's going to spin out between turns 3 and 4. Waldrop found a way, a little worse for the wear, as he'll get the number 2 position, followed by Reef, and followed by the other Reef here of Dan Reef. So Green now a little worse for damage as he'll check out his machine. Tim, certainly an interesting racing move there by Waldrop as he came into turns 3 and 4.
I'll tell you what, the Whitaker know each other very, very well through their go-kart days. They'll line up for the first heat of 315 modifieds. Green is in the air.
So does Billings, your early race leader, followed by Whitaker and the 01 of Chris Raby. Raby now to the inside. Backing off on that there just a little bit was the 38 of Luke Whitaker. Billings continues to lead now. Fight for the top 3, but the 01 of Raby is a man on the move.
And Matt Billings solidly into the number 1 spot. Raby back there in the 2nd position. Luke Whitaker falling all the way back to 3rd here into the clutches of Todd Stone, who rides in 4th. Then it's McDonald, Roy Delormier, and Shane Pecor rounding out the field as your field works off the corner. Billings opening up quite an advantage on 2nd place.
Billings seeing what he likes here so far tonight. The battle is for the number 2 position as Raby maintains the number 2 spot behind him. Whitaker now going to set it to the bottom. Looks to make the move coming out of 4. He cannot make the pass as Billings continues to lead.
Track very tacky right now, and a lot of drivers making this a one-groove racetrack. Right around the bottom, you'll see drivers with their foot to the floor all the way around the speedway, and Matt Billings has definitely got his foot to the floor, as does Chris Raby. Pushes up a little bit off of corner number 4 as Whitaker looks to move in.
And now the man on the move is Delormier. Delormier to the inside of Brian Slim McDonald as they battle back in the field here. Great racing going on. We've got the yellow on the field as the 4J machine slows on the backstretch. That'll regroup them. So Billings.
Todd Stone, Brian McDonald, that's your top 5. Roy Delormier, as you mentioned, has been mighty quick. We'll have to see what happens on this next restart.
So we got green on the field as Billings powers away in the number 1 spot. Now to the inside. It is Whitaker. He gets bottom and gets by the 01 of Raby. Will that open the door for Todd Stone? We have to wait and see on that one. Billings continues to lead, but now coming up hard is the 38 of Whitaker.
Billings with a stout hot rod right now as he goes into corners 1 and 2. Luke Whitaker's been able to pull away from Chris Raby by about 3 car lengths as he sets sail after Billings in the number 1 spot. Raby is 3rd, followed by Todd Stone, Brian McDonald, Roy Delormier. Billings still strong up off of 4.
Billings now up front where he is liking it so far here this evening. To the bottom now, it is the 38 of Whitaker. Whitaker looking to throw out a line and reel him in here potentially. Billings continues to lead. Now Whitaker to the bottom. He's got Chris Raby behind him along with the 1X of Todd Stone. Rounding out your top 5 is Brian McDonald.
8 laps complete, 2 more to go, and Matt Billings making it look easy, but Luke Whitaker is on the charge, chasing after him in corners 3 and 4. We'll see what happens if Whitaker can set him up coming off of 4. He may have a shot. White flag being displayed this time by.
4 more turns of the steering wheel for Billings. Billings looking to pick up his first 8 race win of the year here at the Mohawk International Raceway. Down the backstretch they'll go. Whitaker in hot pursuit here to the number 2 spot. Will he try the outside? He's not going to have enough time here as Billings will take modified heat race number 1 on Chevy Runs Deep Night presented by Frenchies.
Whitaker in this first or second of believe, 3 or 4 heat events tonight. Kevin Federle alongside Ryan Helm, Dale Plank, Stefan LaFrance, Perry Francis, and Harvey Arquette Jr. That's your field, green in the air.
So now Brendan Sweet, your early race leader. He's got the 57 of Kevin Federle. Look at him kick up the tire, the front left tire there as he comes into 2. Federle in second, Sweet to the bottom. We've got cars mixing it up in the back as Ryan Helm has some handling issues. He will come to a stop at turn number 4, Tim. That'll bring out the first yellow flag for this caution. Ryan Helm, not sure, but the handling seemed to go astray there on that lap number 1.
Side, then it's Federle, Perry Francis, Stefan LaFrance, and Arquette. Green flag in the air, we're underway, and Plank immediately jumps to the top side of the speedway. No such luck out there. Car got a little bit tight on him, and Brandon Sweet will take away the number 1 spot.
So the 24 machine says to Dale Plank, you may be the natural, but I'm sweeter as he comes to the inside, coming out of 4. Plank now looking to kick up a little dust as he settles in the number 2 spot, followed by Perry Bones Francis. I'll tell you what, Sweet is giving Plank everything he can handle here tonight.
I'll tell you what, Plank took him to school there, going through corners 1 and 2. He drove it deep on the bottom and slid up in front of Brandon Sweet to grab the lead. Sweet will fall to the runner-up spot. Then it's Francis, LaFrance, and Federle, your top 5. Harvey Arquette just 1 spot out of the top 5. They're running in 6, but Plank running away with everything here as he works into corners 3 and 4 with a healthy 5-car length lead coming down the front stretch.
Plank certainly likes this track as he leads heat race number 2. Last week's feature winner was Dale Plank. He's still your race leader here, and you're absolutely right, Tim. He's found the right combination set up for this Mohawk track.
Halfway sign is out this time by 5 in and 5 more to go, and the natural works it up off of corner number 4. Had a great week last week, winning not only here, also overcoming an early race caution to win at Brockville on Saturday night, and of course followed it up with a 3rd place run in the 358 series opener at Cornwall Sunday night. So Plank looking to continue that hot streak here tonight.
Plank just walking away and hiding here as Brandon Sweet's in 2nd. Perry Francis in 3rd, LaFrance in 4th, your top 5, rounded up by Kevin Federle. I'll tell you what, Tim, Dale Plank, boy, you better bring your A game tonight for the natural if you have any hopes of catching him.
And he has motored and gone away from everybody. The battle is for that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spot as Brandon Sweet has it for the time being. Perry Francis was right on him there till about corner number 4 when he slipped up just a little bit. That opened the door for Stefan LaFrance to close the gap as well. A big gap back to Kevin Federle and Harvey Arquette Jr. Big lead, says Austin Swamp, with 2 laps to go.
So Plank going to settle himself up front for the race to watch is the 115 of Stefan LaFrance. Now he's got his sights on the 55 machine of Perry Francis. Down the backstretch they go as Francis will go into turns 3 and 4. LaFrance going to go to the high side. He gets into the marbles just a little bit. White hanking on the field.
And Dale Plank with about a straightaway on that battle for 2nd with Brandon Sweet, Perry Francis, and Stefan LaFrance. Sets it into corners 3 and 4, and the natural will come across to grab heat number 2 for the modifieds in dominant fashion once again. 2nd spot will be Sweet. 3rd to Perry Francis. Stefan LaFrance comes home in 4th. Kevin Federle completes the top 5, and Harvey Arquette Jr. will complete your field in the heat event for finds this evening. 10 laps the scheduled distance. Conklin and Lattiser.
It'll be Conklin to the inside. On the outside is the laser, Laurent Lattiser. Billy Dunn, he had victory a couple of weeks ago, but ran out of fuel. Little Lattiser to the outside. No, sir, says Tommy Conklin. The Governor Flyer now goes to the inside. Laurent Lattiser in 2nd, and in 3rd, it is the 49 machine of Billy Dunn.
And Dunn not wasting any time, trying to go up to the runner-up spot if he possibly can, and he gets by Lattiser, and in the meantime going after Tommy Conklin as well as they motor down the back straightaway. Your top 4 have broken away from 5th place Kyle Jacobs, who has Roy Tarbell all over his back bumper. Delbert LeGros looking at that spot from 7th. Up in front, though, Conklin continues to lead the way.
So Dunn now will set his sights on the Governor Go-Go, Tommy Conklin. Conklin powers to the clay down the backstretch. He'll put it into turns 3 and 4. Dunn looking to close the distance between. Now we got a couple cars starting to slow coming into turns 3 and 4, Tim. But Conklin setting a very fast pace here this evening.
He may be setting a pretty good pace out there, but Billy Dunn wanting to set an even faster pace as he works down the back straightaway into corners 3 and 4. Dunn down on the bottom side of the speedway. The last time he was here, he finished in the number 2 spot to Danny O'Brien. Would like to do one better than that tonight as he works on Tommy Conklin for the lead.
So Conklin getting great forward bite coming out of 2, able to power away from the 49 machine of Dunn. Dunn now, his strongest strength so far is in the turns as he gets loose there just a little bit. We're halfway home, Tim Baltz. Conklin continues to lead.
And 5 laps are complete, 5 more remain, and Billy Dunn working on Tommy Conklin for the top spot. A good battle for the number 3 position here as Laurel Ladisser has Timmy O'Brien all over his back bumper as Roy Tarbell watches that from spot number 5, but it's Conklin your leader at lap 6.
So we've got 4 more laps to go. Conklin now getting away from Billy Dunn just ever so slightly. The race to watch is the 23 machine and the 88 of Timmy O'Brien and Laurent Ladisser. Ladisser likes the high side. O'Brien's going to go to the high side here. Tommy Conklin fending off Billy Dunn. So far, so good for him.
As they work off corners 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway, Conklin's been able to put about 5 car lengths between himself and Billy Dunn out of Watertown, New York, sets it into corners 3 and 4 with Ladisser and O'Brien still going at it for 3rd and 4th. We got 2 laps left to go.
2 laps to go. Conklin continues to lead Billy Dunn. And now the race is really on for that number 3 spot, the transfer spot. Heads Up starts here this evening, as it is a 50-lapper for the Frenchie Chevy Runs Deep Memorial Cup. And now Tommy Conklin, he's got 1 more lap to go, Tim, for heat race number 3.
And he is right out in front of Billy Dunn by about 4 car lengths as he goes into corners 3 and 4. Dunn trying to charge after him in turns 3 and 4. Can't quite do it as Tommy Conklin works it up off the corner. He'll win this one. Second will be Dunn. Ladisser will hold off Timmy O'Brien at the finish for 3rd. Roy Tarbell will come home in the number 5 spot. Kyle Jacobs, Delbert LeGros in that order, finishing out there on the inside of row number 3. And alongside will be Casey Swamp in the 44. Heat number 4 for the modifieds. Green in the air.
O'Brien and Moran will take you in the turns 1 and 2. Green on the field. O'Brien to the bottom. Moran to the bottom. Moran's going to try to kick it up a notch here, but here comes the 66X of Kerry Terrance. O'Brien continues to lead as they go into turns 3 and 4. Kerry Terrance looking to make his move.
And O'Brien leads them down the front straightaway into corners 1 and 2. Gage Moran settling back into the runner-up spot. It's Kerry Terrance holding down 3rd. Papineau doing all he can to hold off Casey Swamp and Gardner Stone for the number 4 spot. As the top 3 work themselves up off of corner number 4, it's O'Brien, Moran, and Terrance, your top 3.
Starting rear on the field is this 44, Casey Swamp. He just won by Papineau. He'll set his sights now on the 66X of Kerry Terrance. We've got 8 laps to go. Danny O'Brien, smooth and fast here tonight as he comes out of 4. Danny O'Brien continues to lead.
And I'll tell you what, whether O'Brien is sore or not, he is still driving his heart out right now as he goes into corners 1 and 2. He's got about 3 car lengths on Gage Moran back in the runner-up spot. Then it is the 66 of Terrance holding down the number 3 spot. He closes in on Moran for the runner-up position as they work up off of corner number 4.
So the high side is the place to be, and Danny O'Brien has found that. Now he'll go to the high side, coming out of 2, power to the clay on the backstretch. Kerry Terrance starting to reel in the 16 of Gage Moran just a little bit. Kerry Terrance realizes a heads up start, it improves your track position come feature time.
And I'll tell you what, the bottom's starting to slick up just a little bit as that cushion getting a little bit thicker out there, and some of these drivers electing to move to the top side as you see him go through turns 3 and 4. O'Brien sets it nicely into corners 3 and 4, as does Moran, and Terrance running right through the black stuff down on the bottom.
Tell you what, I'd like to see the lap times for Casey Swamp on that last lap. He certainly improved a lot tremendously in track positioning here. Danny O'Brien continues to lead. Moran settles into 2nd. Kerry Terrance now into 3rd. O'Brien, he's got 3 more laps to go, Tim.
And Danny working it up off of corners 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway this time. Terrance went after Moran for 2nd. Couldn't quite get the job done, though. He'll settle in behind in 3rd as Moran doing everything in the books to hold off Terrance. Meanwhile, Danny O'Brien motors away by about 6 car lengths.
So Gage Moran, he collects his wheel. Boy, he almost had a little more concrete and is staggered than he wished to have on that one. Kerry Terrance to the inside. Moran will hang on as they go down to the backstretch. They battle going into turns 3 and 4. O'Brien's got this one wrapped up. The issue is for the number 2 position. It'll be Gage Moran.
And O'Brien does have a big lead out there in the number 17 as he motors down the back straightaway. Moran has now moved away from Kerry Terrance, open up about 6 car lengths as they head off of corner number 4 and heat number 4 will go to Danny O'Brien. 2nd will be Gage Moran. Kerry Terrance will cross in 3rd. Then it'll be Casey Swamp. Gardner Stone, his first appearance of the year, comes home with a top 5 finish. And rounding it out will be David Papineau in the 188. So O'Brien to the 8 of Mark Lalonde. B.J. Peters rounds out your field in the number 73. 7 cars ready to do battle here. 8 laps to distance. Green flag is in the air. 3 wide going into corners 1 and 2. Jody Swamp not afraid to go up to the number 4 spot. He is not done, though. Tries to get by Stefan Lebrun as they work off of corner number 2. It's Mike White, your early leader, as Swamp, who's charging from about the 5th starting spot all the way up to challenge Dave Sagan for the number 2 spot.
So Mike White returns to the Mohawk International Raceway. So far, so good for him. He's your early race leader here in Pro Stock Heat number 1. Jody Swamp now into the number 2 position as LeBron is able to get by Seguin. To the inside comes Alan Peters. I'll tell you what, Tim, they are starting to stack them up like cordwood back there.
Absolutely. It's Jody Swamp, Stefan LeBrun, P.J. Peters, and Mark Lalonde. That is your top 5. Of course, they're battling for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th as Mike White has jumped out in front of the field here. Good to see Mike back running strong as ever as he goes off into corners 3 and 4 with the lead, but Jody Swamp nipping at his heels off of 4.
So Jody Swamp will set his sights on the 1X of Mike White here. Jody Swamp going to look to the inside going into turns 1 and 2. Can't quite make a stick. Mike White having a very nice run here. Comes Alan Peters for the number 2 position to the inside as they go into turns 3 and 4. Jody Swamp, is he going to be able to hang on coming out of 4, Tim? But Mike White, so far, so good.
So Mike White, your leader at the halfway point, and Peters now working the inside groove. He'll get by the 69 of Swamp and quickly close in on Mike White for the lead. Swamp back to 3rd. Stefan Lebrun is 4th, followed by the number 8 of Lalonde. That's your top 5 as White working it up off of corner number 4 and down into 1 and 2. 3 laps left to go.
So the Brazier Bullet returns to Mohawk, and he's your race leader as we've got to the inside now. P.J. Peters going into turns number 3 and 4. Peters on the bottom, White to the top. White got a little extra bite here. We've got 2 laps to go. P.J. Peters may be setting him up for a big-time move here, Tim, on this lap.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Mike White doing all he can to hold off Peters for the time being, but BJ is right there. Gives him a nudge on the back straightaway, says, hello, I'm here. And Mike White pushes up the track just a little bit in corner number 4. Peters trying to take advantage of it. They're side by side at the white flag lap.
So Peters says, knock, knock. Housekeeping comes to the inside of White. White to the top side. Peters to the bottom. It's a drag race down the backstretch. Power to the clay as they come into turns 3 and 4. Peters and White. Who's it going to be? Checkered flag coming out on the field. White to the top side. Peters to the bottom. It will be Mike White.
Mike White gets the win, albeit by a slim margin, though, as P.J. Peters comes home in 2nd. A great... Also out there on the outside of row number 2, that will be the 1R of Ricky Thompson. The number 4 of Rock Obey, along with last week's winner, Dion Oaks, in the number 48. Green flag set to come out here as Musau leads them down into corners 1 and 2. Alan Peters with a great drive from the top shelf. He'll go up to the number 1 spot. Ricky Thompson looking to follow suit and does so as a little bit further back, Dion Oaks got shuffled out of line. And Musau all out of shape in corners 3 and 4. He loses a ton of spots out there, going from the lead all the way back to 5th.
So Alan Peters likes that very much as it opens the door for him. Now Ricky Thompson. He's got Ricky Thompson in hot pursuit coming out of 2. It is Peters, your race leader, followed by the 1R of Ricky Thompson, former track champion. But the man on the move is the 4 of Rock Oben. But Peters continues to lead on lap number 2.
And it's Alan Peters, Ricky Thompson, your top 2. Rock Oben gets to the inside of Tremblay, picking off the number 3 spot as Tremblay relegated to 4th. Dion Oaks cracks into the top 5 now. Musau rounding out the rest of your field, but Alan Peters is working that outside groove very nicely here as he works up off the corner. A little bit of smoke starting to show out of the back of the Ricky Thompson machine as he's got Rock Oben right there behind him.
So Peters settles himself very nicely. Now to the outside is Ricky Thompson. And him and Oban get together just a little bit as they go side by side into turns 3 and 4. Thompson now to the high side. Oban to the bottom. Oban looking to take away that number 2 spot. Did he get it? I believe he did on that one, Tim.
And just a little bit of a margin out there for 2nd as Rock Oban. Now he slips on by cleanly. And Ricky Thompson relegated to 3rd here as Dion Oaks gets by Chris Tremblay. And he chases after the top 3 in the number 4 spot. It's Tremblay in 5th, followed by Musau rounding out your field. 5 laps are complete here. Alan Peters making it look pretty easy, but Rock Oban is not going away quietly.
So Ockban now going to go to the back stretch. He's got Peters in front of him. Oh, man, he likes the bottom here. Does he have enough to get by with 2 laps remaining? Peters to the top side. Oh, man, to the bottom. Neck and neck now. Exciting finish, Tim, as we've got 2 more laps to go.
2 laps to go, and Rock Obey makes the pass for the lead out there, as they say, as he goes down the back straightaway. Has the lead going into turns 3 and 4. Alan Peters looking to set him up, though, coming into turns 3 and 4. Could have another barn burner finish here, Brian. White flag flying in the breeze.
1 more lap remaining. It is Oban, your race leader. Peters to the top side coming out of 2. Does he have enough bite to get it by him on the backstretch? We'll find out. It is Oban to the bottom. Peters going into 3 on the top side. Slows down his machine a little bit. Gathers it back up. Here he comes to the outside of Oban. Can he get him at the line? No, it'll be Rock Oban. And I'll tell you what, Tim, these pro stocks are playing for keep tonight, my friend.
I'll tell you what,
so it'll be Brockway, your race leader. Now cars starting to bunch a little bit. Yes, sir. We got green on the field here as Brockway continues to lead, going into laps 1 and 2 behind him. The 52 of Jessica Powers. On the outside, it is the 8 of Dana Akins. Brockway's got some interesting company here, Tim, as he heads into turns 3 and 4.
And Josh Brockway, your early leader. Look at Dana Akins try to thread the needle out there. He goes around the outside of Jessica Power for the runner-up spot. But Jessica fighting right back on the bottom side of the speedway, trying to get by Akins. Akins will have none of that, and he'll go back around Power for the number 2 spot as Jessica moving back into 3rd is Stan Jalbert and Louis Jackson Jr. top 5. Meanwhile, up in front for the lead, Dana Akins down to the bottom of Brockway.
Brockway, if you notice, has a little bit of a push in his car when he goes into the turns here. Will that open the door for the 8 machine of our good friend Dana Akins? Down the backstretch they go. Akins in pursuit of Brockway here, as now maybe Akins will try the high side, but Brockway settling into a groove here on lap number 3.
I tell you what, Dana Akins is trying everything in the books. He's tried the slingshot move off of corner number 4 twice now, hasn't been able to make it work. Jessica Power just looking for room to go back there in the 3rd spot. She had a spectacular run at Cornwall, coming from the number 18 spot to finish in 4th on Sunday night. Dan Jalbert lurking back there behind her in spot number 4. Gets a little bit out of the groove as they work off of corner number 4.
So they are nerf bar to nerf bar as they go into turns 1 and 2. Akins got the door open now, and he'll seal the deal as he goes down the backstretch past Brockway. Brockway able to hold on to the lead here for most of this heat race, but now Dana Akins continues to lead, followed by Brockway, Jessica Powers as well.
The Glenn Gould construction machine works into corners 1 and 2, and he's got that top spot all to himself, leaving Josh Brockway and Jessica Power to battle it up for 2nd and 3rd. Dan Jalbert has been giving Power all sorts of fits as they work into corners 3 and 4. Jalbert to the high side, Power down low, and just behind them, Mike Arquette, Louis Jackson Jr., now Neil Provost battle it up for the rest of the spots behind them.
So Dana Akins, he's got 2 more laps to go in this heat race, number 1 for the modifieds tonight. Now in second, it is Brockway. He's got some company behind him here. He's got the 1X of Jalbert as he'll power to the inside, coming out of 4. Jalbert now in the number 2 position.
You see where experience pays off there. He made that outside-inside pass look very easy. Now he sets after Dana Akins, but he may run out of time as Dana works it down into corners 3 and 4 with a healthy 4-car length lead on Jalbert at the checkered flag. Dana Akins is going to come across and grab the win. Jalbert will get 2nd, Brockway into 3rd, Jessica Power, Mike Arquette, your top 5. That is Louis Jackson Jr. Dallas with the 14 of Kyle Wilson, and the Brent Kelsey will complete your field. Up in front, 8 laps for the Sportsman's heat number 2, ready to go, and Thomas Cook will lead him into corners 1 and 2 with the top spot. Mike Stacy back to the runner-up position in 2nd. Then it is the 5 of Wyatt Mullen, along with the 3 of Adam Rozon. Good battle going on from 3rd on back as Kyle Wilson and Dylan Sallows look to move up. But it's Thomas Cook, your early leader.
Thomas Cook, the 15-year-old, to the outside. He has really improved his game every week here at Mohawk. He is your race leader, followed by the 23 of Stacy. Now going to the outside, it is Tammy Jalbert looking to get by for that number 2 position. Correction, Adam Rozon in that number 3 machine. Thomas Cook continues to impress the living heck out of me, Tim.
I tell you, he impressed a lot of people Sunday night. He ran in the top 10 all night long with Grandpa Billy Cook out there as well. And I'll tell you what, he's making Grandpa proud right now, running in the number 1 spot. Adam Rozon back to 2nd. Brent Kelsey looking to move up. He started 7th on the field and is already up into 4th, chasing after Dylan Sallows, who rides in 3rd. But up in front, Thomas Cook doing a great job holding off the rest of the field.
So it'll be Rosan in the number 2 position. Thomas Cook getting better each and every week here. So far, so good for him in heat race number 2 for the dirt car sportsman modified, so to speak. As to the inside, Rosan. Thomas Cook really hitting his marks here, Tim, lap after lap.
Yeah, he's not all over the racetrack. He's just holding his line out there, trying to make everybody else go around him. And he's got a great teacher out there with his grandfather, Billy Cook. But as they work up off the corner, Cook starts to pull away just a little bit. That bottom side might be a little bit better, though, as Adam Rosan found the groove and he shot off of it. Closing in on Cook for the lead as Brent Kelsey in the 30 has Dylan Sallows and Kyle Wilson right there behind him as they exit corners number 4.
So it'll be Thomas Cook. He continues to lead. We're halfway home rather, for the sportsman. Rosan going to try the inside. Thomas Cook likes where he's running in that one group. Now Rosan to the inside on the backstretch. Cook once again, great bite coming off of turn 2, Tim. I'll tell you what, Thomas Cook is doing an outstanding job. We got cars getting together between turns 3 and 4. Kyle Wilson will be collected in that one.
And the caution flag will fly here, and
at Mohawk International Raceway in his heat action. Cook to fire away looking for the green here. We've got 3 more laps to go, Tim, as now Rosan in number 2 spot.
And Rosan looking to close in and steal this one away from Thomas Cook, but Cook got a great restart that time. Motors away down the back straightaway, about 2 car lengths separate him and Rosan going into corners 3 and 4 this time by. And the first ever checkered flag for Thomas Cook in a sportsman car comes at Mohawk. He gets the win. Kelsey to second. Adam Rosan, Wyatt Mullen, bending track champion in last week's winner. Dylan Evoy out of Brockville. Motor problems sidelined him last Saturday night, but he's back in fine form here this evening. Green flag is in the air. Tammy Jalbert will lead him into corners 1 and 2, and Jenna David puts the loud pedal down, goes to the lead. Jalbert relegated to second here as Billy Cook rounds out your top 3 early, and Josh Van Bronken looking to move up as well. They're bunched together from about 3rd on back.
It is youngster night here. Is Jenna David, as you said, the loud pedal. She makes the move on turn number 1 and 2. Gets a little high side now coming to the number 2 turn. Van Brocklin to the inside is Jalbert. Jenna David also looking to hit her marks. She said, Thomas Cook, you made it look easy. I think I can do this as well. So now going to the inside, the 83 of Dylan Evoy to the inside of Tammy Jalbert. It's a drag race going down the backstretch between Evoy and Jalbert. Jalbert on the outside, Evoy to the bottom.
And Evoy wins out on that battle as Jalbert got a little bit out of shape, and that's going to open the door for Billy Cook and Nolan Swamp to close the gap. And David, a little out of shape in corner number 2, gets back on the gas, loses 2 spots in that whole mess, unfortunately for Jenna, but she got back out there in the number 3 spot. She'll look to challenge the 10 of Van Brocklin and the 83 of Evoy, but up in front, it's Van Brocklin, your leader.
So Dylan Evoy now settles in the number 2 position. He'll set his sights on the number 10 machine of Van Brocklin. Boy, you cannot make a mistake here and slip up. These cars are all pretty much evenly matched and run side by side, and you cannot gain as much ground as you used to many, many moons ago. Van Brocklin continues to lead halfway home here, Evoy in second.
And Evoy quickly closing in on Van Brocklin for the lead here. But a straightaway separates the top 2 from 3rd place Jenna David, and now 4th place Tammy Jalbert as Billy Cook completes the top 5. Van Brocklin and Evoy 1 and 2 as they go into corners 1 and 2.
So this will be our last heat race of the evening for the sportsmen, and this will conclude our heat races of the evening portion, I guess, as now Van Brocklin to the inside, coming out of 4. He's got Evoy with him. I'll tell you what, Evoy has not been able to narrow that gap whatsoever.
And Van Brocklin has been mighty quick since he's come to Mohawk International Raceway. And of course, last season dominated the Dirt Car Sportsman Tour race here in September off of corner number 4 this time by. And Josh Van Brocklin will grab the win. 2nd spot will go to Evoy. 3rd still being contested here is David, once again a little out of shape in turn number 4, but she collects it up and will grab 3rd. Jalbert, Nolan Swamp, your top 5. Billy Cook, Brian Cobb. Ladies and gentlemen, like we had here last Friday night, get your favorite t-shirt, hat, or whatever to get your favorite driver's autograph on Sunday night at Cornwall. Race time starts at 7 p.m.
So the go-go flag is out on the field now, and the man on the move is the 101 of Stuart Musa. He hops up into the number 2 position, gets into Mitchell just a little bit. He backs off now. Here comes Joe Jock to the outside. Boy, throw a blanket over the race leaders so far here, Tim, as they go into turns 3 and 4.
And right now, Daryl Mitchell, your early leader, as the battle goes on behind them. Stuart Musa was quick last week, came home in a runner-up spot, looking to hold off Corey Castell and Joe Jock for the time being. Ernie Cree looking to move up as well. He's up into the number 5 spot now as Matthew Oban, who had problems in his qualifying heat, rides in 6th. Zyra is 7th, followed by Randy Whiting, Daryl Mainville, and Justin DeRocha, your top 10.
So Mitchell with a new paint scheme, new car, perhaps. Liking what he's seeing here so far. Musa in the number 2 position will drift to the high side. Now on the inside it is Castell, followed by Jock. Daryl Mitchell having his way here with the field early on in this 12-lap feature event, Mr. Tim Balt, as Mitchell continues to lead, but a gaggle of cars fight for the 2, 3, 4, and 5 position.
I'll tell you what, Daryl Mitchell seemingly has the handle on things right now, but the battle is for second on back as we've got Randy Whiting spun to the inside of corners 3 and 4, right to the attention of Andy Watson. Rick, eye on the sky here, and Mohawk International Raceway officials want to keep the show moving along, so we'll do the best that we can. And Daryl Mitchell looking to do the best he can as he leads the way off of corner number 4.
So Musa now, he liked what he saw, went to the outside. He is your new race leader, followed by the 37 of Mitchell. But here comes Jock to the Oban, to the outside. Ernie Cree takes a peek below, can't quite find the handle. Stuart Musa on the 101. He'll set his machine going into turns 3 and 4. Gets a little high going into 4. That opens the door for the 37 of Mitchell. They drag race into turns 1 and 2.
And Stuart Musa down up to the outside of Daryl Mitchell, I should say. And Mitchell fighting back on the bottom side of the speedway. Here comes Matthew Oban a bit for the lead as well. Good battle between your top 5 cars. Very, very competitive machines out there. Mitchell leads the way. They're 3 wide for second.
3 wide is the case now as Musa will settle in the number 3 position. He'll go to the inside of Oban. Oban on the top side. Musa gets into Oban lets off just a little bit, but going to lose a bunch of real estate on that proposition as now Daryl Mitchell able to break away from the field ever so slightly.
And how about opening night winner Corey Castell? He is closed in on your leader right now. Meanwhile, behind him, it's Matthew Oban, Ernie Cree, Joe Jock, your top 5. Stuart Moose now starting to close the gap a little bit, though, as they go into corners 1 and 2. Matt Zyra doing a great job up to position number 7 at this time. But it's Daryl Mitchell back out in front and dominating once again.
So Mitchell dominating, that is the case. We've got 5 more laps to go. Settling in that number 2 position is the Castell machine of the number 28 Oban and Ernie Cree and the 79 of Joe Jock. Daryl Mitchell out for a Friday night cruise here, Tim, as he goes into turns 3 and 4.
Off of corner number 4 they go, and Daryl Mitchell leading the parade down the front straightaway. Corey Castell having a great run, and once again up into position number 2. The battle is for 3rd right now as Ernie Cree has the 3rd spot. The 89 of Oban wants to try to keep it, and Joe Jock watches this battle from 5th as they work off of corner number 4 this time by. Daryl Mitchell still continues to lead the way.
Mitchell says, boys, do what you got to do behind me, but I'm going to take care of business up front as Castell is in pursuit. Ernie Cree gets by Oban for the number 3 position. We've got 4 laps to go. Mitchell looking for another victory here at the Mohawk International Raceway. So far, so good for him. About a 20-car length lead as he takes it into turns 3 and 4, and the car is starting to spread out just a little bit, Tim.
2 more laps left to go, and Daryl Mitchell, who I mentioned earlier, won his first ever feature in the Bandit division here at Mohawk in 2010. It's been a long time since he's been to victory lane. He'd like to get that done right now, and of course, the last time he won, it was spectacular fashion. This time, it's a little more convincing and dominant as he works it up off the corner for the final time. Daryl Mitchell in command of things right now.
So I'll take you home from here. White hanky on the field. It is Mitchell, a commanding lead over the 28 of Corey Castell, the 18 of Ernie Cree, the 89 of Oban, and the 79 of Joe Jock. Mitchell now going to set it low and smooth and into this racing groove as he comes into turns 3 and 4. Power to the bottom coming out of 4. Daryl Mitchell, your Bandit feature winner this evening on Frenchie's Chevy Runs Deep Series.
Great job out there by Daryl Mitchell to grab the win. Last row back there. 15 laps to distance, Brian. We're set and ready to go.
So the Memorial Racing Day weekend features kicks off with the Flamboy getting off to the early race lead, followed by the 30 of Timmy Reef. Reef now follows into second. It'll be LaFramboy gets a little twisted coming out of two, gets to the high side. Cars now starting to find some bite as they head down the backstretch.
Into corners 3 and 4. LaFramboise has got the top spot, and Dean Pronovost working that outside groove, trying to get by the 30 of Dan Reef as they go off into corners 1 and 2. Pronovost on the top side. Here comes defending track champion Matthew Robinson as well. Robinson pulls up to the back bumpers. We've got to believe that is Brian Green off of corner number 2.
That would be Matt Mutin's
career and get him going in this racing deal. And then it's Matt Shantosh and Matt Mutin in that order.
So now the green back on the field, the go-go flag, as it is LaFramboy to the bottom on the racing surface, to the top side. Here comes the 14 machine of Dean Pronovost. He likes what he sees as he takes the race lead coming out of turn 2. A drag race down to the backstretch with LaFramboy in second. It is Robinson. He's got his machine, and Pronovost spins and loses some grip between turns 3 and 4, and that will bring out another caution flag.
I'll tell you what, Steve Young and Dave Murphy will call the action for you. That'll be coming up tomorrow night at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway. Of course, the Squire Shop on Sunday night at Cornwall with a full card of racing. Brian Mulligan, myself, and Huey Primo with the call.
So Matthew Robinson, he's got the sweep going so far this season. He's won every event for the Mod Light features. He breaks away to the early race lead here, 3 laps in. He's got 12 more laps to go. Settling in second there is the 21G of Scott Meir. In third, we've got a car spinning out on the backstretch. I do believe that is the one field or the ice today. So,
well, I do guarantee this one thing. We will have Matthew Robinson leading the way on this next green flag, and he is looking to continue this hot streak he's been on in the Mod Lights. Green flag is in the air.
He sees the go-go flag. Robinson off to the race lead once again. 11 laps to go. Robinson, your leader, followed by LaFramboy and the 03 now of Timmy Reef. The 21G of Scott Meir as he's settled into third place. Robinson likes that bottom groove. Now we'll be settling in as now we've got up and over the powder donuts is Dan Reef. Or correction on that is Timmy Reef. And we're going to have red flag here on the racing field. All cars must stop.
5 years old. My goodness.
And he better start learning how to wave the checkered flag, or at least going around the go-kart track with it. As now we're back under racing conditions, it is Matthew Robinson pulling away from LaFramboy. LaFramboy happy to settle into second. Scott Meir with his best run of the year so far. He's in the number 3 position. He sets sail for the number 7 car as LaFramboy bumbles just a little bit coming out of 2. Matthew Robinson says, takes a look in my rearview mirror, boys, because I'm way up front here by myself. We've got 10 more laps to go. Robinson settling into the number 1 position, followed by LaFramboy, and Scott Meir rounds out your top 3.
And I'll tell you what, Matthew Robinson, despite those problems in the qualifying heat, has definitely gotten it figured out now. He pulls away from LaFramboy. There's probably about 7 car lengths between your top 2 drivers. Scott Meir back to 3rd. Matt Mutin back there, position number 4. Scotty Waldorf rounds out your top 5. We got 7 laps up on the board.
So Robinson going to be the leader on the backstretch. Scotty Meir looking now for that number 2 position, but he's got some company for the number 3 position, and that is the 11M of Matt Mutin. Mutin to the inside as they come around 3 and 4. Mutin going to drift up the track just ever so slightly as now picking up the sneakers, the 21G of Scott Meir. I'll tell you what, Tim, Matthew Robinson in a field in class by himself again this evening, and we got a car into the wall. It is young McDonald. Didn't quite see what happened on that one, Tim.
Yeah, she just got out of shape coming off of corner number 4 in that wall.
Bite us, you know.
You never know. So, we're set to go back under green here, and a surprisingly caution-filled Mod Light feature. 7 laps left to go in this one. We're back under green. Robinson back to the early lead here. LaFramboise and Scott Meir, 2nd and 3rd. Meir starting to put a little pressure on LaFramboise for the runner-up spot as Matt Mutin lurking back there in spot number 4. Here comes Scotty Waldorf up into the number 5 spot in the 60, but it is Robinson leading the way at lap 9.
So now picking up that front sneaker is the 21G of Scott Meir. He'll go to the outside of LaFramboy. Can he make it work up top? We'll have to wait and see. Opens the door for Matt Mutin on the backstretch. Mutin now on the backstretch. He'll go into turns number 3 and 4 to the inside of Scott Meir. Matthew Robinson, I'll tell you what, Tim, he's making quick work of this field tonight.
Down in front, he's got about half straightaway lead on that battle for second. Matt Mutin puts his foot down. He goes from fourth all the way up into the number 2 spot. And Matt Mutin determined to go after Robinson. But LaFramboise is not done yet either. He goes to the top side, tries to get by Matt Mutin in corners 3 and 4. Couldn't quite do it this time as Robinson leads the way. Matt Mutin has got everybody back there for second.
Here comes LaFramboise. Now he'll get on the binders a bit as he goes into 2. Able to accelerate off the turn now is the 11 of Matt Mutin. Mutin, he's got some distance to make up here with 4 laps to go. Matthew Robinson reaches over, clicks the left side, and he's on cruise control.
Absolutely. 3 more laps left to go in this one, and Matthew Robinson making it look very easy out there. Your defending track champion, won twice last season, trying to one up that total here tonight. And Matt Mutin lurking back there in spot number 2. He has been a factor in each and every finish this season as they come off corner number 4. 2 laps to go for Robinson.
I'll tell you what, Matt Mutin is doing everything he can. He's going to a little bit higher, trying to make up some distance. And I'll tell you what, Tim, he's made up ever so slightly a little bit of the distance between him and Matthew Robinson. He may run out of laps here. He's going to walk away, say, I didn't lose, I just ran out of laps. Robinson now going to work his way into lap traffic coming out of 4. Sets his sights on Shantosh as we've got 2 laps to go. 1 lap to go, excuse me.
White flag is being displayed, and Matthew Robinson looking to go 3 for 3 here in 2012. Down the back straightaway, a half straightaway advantage for Matthew Robinson into corners 3 and 4. Checkered flag flies. He's 3 for 3 in 2012. Matthew Robinson gets the win. Second will go to Matt Mutin. Third to the 7 of LaFramboise. Scott Meir at the line, and how about it for the 88 of Matthew Robinson? Jamie Davis from Frenchie Chevrolet down to make the trophy presentation. The big shake down there.
And Matthew, if it doesn't fit, you always can adjust it in the back.
Absolutely.
I had to show my good friend Tim how that works tonight.
I didn't have to do it. I just threw that right on there just like that.
I think you just called me a fathead. I think you inadvertently called me a fathead again.
Fathead.com. Order one today.
Is it a Tony Romo one that...
No, I got a Tony Stewart one. At least I want.
It is the Brandon Sweet. So it is Billings with the early race lead, followed by Plank. Now cars starting to get bunched up, going into 1s and 2. 50 lap is the event tonight for the Memorial Cup Frenchies Run Steep Chevrolet Series presented by Frenchie Chevrolet. Billings will come around. He'll lead lap number 1.
And he's got Dale Plank right there behind him in that second spot. Danny O'Brien crawls up to a solid 3rd place run at this time. Tommy Conklin is 4th, and then it's a scramble back behind him as Luke Whitaker, Billy, and Brandon Sweet go at it for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
So the race is on now in back of the field. 3 wide coming out of 4. 3 wide going into turn number 1. It is Rabi and Perry Francis getting to the outside of Gage Morin. Now coming up through the middle is the 66 machine of Kerry Torrance. Very racy racing service here tonight, Tim.
And 2 former Memorial Cup champions looking to make headway earlier as they work through the top 10. Meanwhile, back up front to the leaders, Matt Billings is on the top side, Dale Plank down low, and Plank looking to get by Billings for the number 1 spot as they work up off the corner. Billings pinches him down a little bit, coming off of 4, heading into corner number 1.
So Plank will try the bottom, Billings the high side. Billings makes the power move coming out of 2 to maintain the lead. Plank now, he'll set his sights for the bottom groove. Billings now going to chop just a little bit to get him off that bottom groove, force him to the high side. Billings continues to lead 5 laps into this 50-lap event.
And Danny O'Brien lurking behind him in spot number 3. Good battle for 4th right now as Billy Dunn trying to get by Tom Conklin. Conklin at his best finish of the season at 4th last week. Looking to duplicate that or get by it here tonight. As up in front, Billings leads the way. Plank has Danny O'Brien closing in on him for 2nd.
Danny O'Brien now to the high side, coming out of 2. Down the back stretch to go. The 77X of Dale Plank holds the number 2 position. Danny O'Brien, he found something on the top shelf, Tim. He comes out of 4, racing with Dale Plank.
And not too often you see something like that happen as Dale Plank on the bottom. Danny O'Brien flies to the top side, drives around the natural, going down the back straightaway. And Danny O'Brien, the pocket rocket out of Kingston, motors to the top side. He'll go to 2nd. Plank relegated to 3rd.
Danny O'Brien, he likes the top side as they head into 2. Delbert LeGros, lap traffic, the issue. Danny O'Brien, he'll slide to the bottom coming out of 2. as now he sets his sights on the race leader, the 74 machine of Matt Billings. Plank hanging around in top three. But now Delbert LeGros, lap traffic. The issue is going to the inside as Dale Plank, very racy so far.
As they work through corners 1 and 2, Billings clears the lap traffic. Now Danny O'Brien looks to get back up to the outside part of the speedway to get around Plank for the runner-up spot as Billings continues to lead the way. He's picking his way through the lap traffic. Delbert LeGros, Shane Pecor just in front of him, goes to the outside of LeGros. Pecor cut him off going into corners 1 and 2, and I'll tell you what, Plank gets by O'Brien for second down the backstretch.
O'Brien, Plank, and Billings. That is your reverse order so far. Billings on the bottom. Plank going to go to the high side. Danny gets into Plank there just a little bit, coming out of 4. Billings continues to lead. We've got 39 laps remaining in this 50-lap event.
And I tell you what, from 4th on back, it is anybody's ball game right now as Tommy Conklin trying to hold off the very fast Billy Dunn for the number 4 spot. Kerry Torrance has now moved up into 6th. Chris Raby is 7th. 8th is Luke Whitaker. 9th belongs to Perry Francis, and rounding out your top 10 is Stefan LaFrance in the 115. Meanwhile, your leaders working traffic. Plank has cleared the lap car of David Papinel, sets his sights on Billings once again off of corner number 4.
Billings putting on an impressive display. He wants to be the Memorial Cup winner tonight, but now Plank will go to the bottom. Lap traffic going to be the issue here. Billings to the outside, going down to the backstretch. He'll go into turns 3 and 4. He'll set his sights on the X1 of Gardner Stone. Plank right there on the bottom with him, coming around on lap number 14.
14 laps are complete here with 36 left to go up on the scoreboard. Billings has have his hands full right now with Dale Plank as Plank works the bottom groove. Matt is also on the bottom. Danny O'Brien still trying to pick his way through the lap traffic. He is now 3rd. Kerry Torrance has gotten by Billy Dunn and Tommy Conklin to move up into spot number 4. Dunn rounds out the top 5.
Plank now trying to hold it to the bottom. Billings found a little extra bite coming out of 2. He'll drag race down into turns number 3 and 4. He's got Plank in hot pursuit coming out of 4. Billings continues to lead. We've got 35 laps remaining.
35 laps to go, and now Dale Plank gets to the inside of Billings. Couldn't quite make it work that time. He'll settle in behind, and we got a couple of cars coming together. It's Stefan LaFrance getting into the back of Delbert LeGros, and the caution flag will fly here. Truck pulls off the speedway. Matt Billings will fire from the bottom off of corner number 4. Green flag in the air. Billings gets another strong start as they head off into corners 1 and 2. Dale Plank searches to the top side now. He's going to try the long way around Billings down the backstretch. Shows the wheels, goes by Billings in corner number 3. Your new leader is the natural Dale Plank up off of corner number 4.
And he's bringing company with him, the 17 pocket rocket, Danny O'Brien. Billings says, what do you got up here, Dale, that I can use? Billings goes to the top side, followed by Danny O'Brien, the natural. We're about halfway through this race so far. The Plank now has found the natural has found his groove coming out of 4, starting to leave Billings and O'Brien in his trail.
As they work up off of corner number 2 and down the back straightaway, Dale Plank in search of his second win in as many weeks here at Mohawk. Matt Billings riding back there in spot number 2. Here comes Danny O'Brien back to the top side. Dale Plank's teammate, Kerry Torrance, in the 66, riding in spot number 4. Raby has cracked into the top 5 right now in the 01.
Kerry Torrance going to look for a little bite on the bottom as they come out of 2. He'll set his sights on the 17 machine of Danny O'Brien. This is allowing for some great racing up front as Dale Plank starting to hit his marks and find his grooves as we've got 24 laps to go.
And I'll tell you what, when Plank gets into this mode, he could be tough to beat as he works the back straightaway. A half straightaway advantage now for Plank as Billings and Danny O'Brien along with Kerry Torrance battle it up for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. This is going to bring Chris Raby and Billy Dunn into the mix as well as they race 5th and 6th.
Certainly experienced well throughout the field here tonight. Plank continues to lead. Billings now in 2nd. He's got O'Brien and Kerry Torrance. Kerry Torrance started midway through the field here, looking to work his way up through. Dale Plank will come around lap 23. We've got 17 laps to go. Dale Plank starting to put on a show.
And he definitely is as they work up off of corner number 2 and down the back straightaway. Torrance a little bit out of shape. That's going to allow for Chris Raby to close in. Raby went to the outside, thought better of it, dives to the bottom, and he'll try to get around Torrance as they work up off of corner number 4. Torrance able to hold him off for the time being.
So Plank now will bobble a little bit between turns 1 and 2. That won't slow him down onto the backstretch. Billings still in second. Plank now, he's going to look to go into lap traffic and hide and get away. Here comes Danny O'Brien to the high side of Billings. Billings on the bottom. O'Brien to the top side. Cannot complete the pass. We're at the halfway point of the 50-lap Memorial Cup.
And I'll tell you what, right now, Dale Plank is getting into lap traffic. He comes up to the back bumper of Delbert LeGros, gets on by, and it's going to throw his rhythm off just a little bit as he's having to go to the bottom, not where he's used to running the last few laps. Matt Billings having to dive to the bottom as well. Danny O'Brien and Kerry Terrance committed to the top side of the speedway. Billy Dunn slides by Rabbie to pick up fifth.
Kerry Terrance now, he goes to the outside of Danny O'Brien, looking to take away that number 3 spot to the middle groove. Can he find enough bite? As now Billings gets back into the number 2 spot along with O'Brien to number 3, but Kerry Terrance with a power move to the outside coming out of 2.
And he is not done there. He threads the needle between Matt Billings and now David Papineau as well. And Terrance is on a mission for his 3rd Memorial Cup, trying to chase down his teammate and race leader Dale Plank as they work their way through corners 1 and 2. And now Billy Dunn gets into the mix as Rabbie gets up to the top side as well.
A very racy surface here tonight. Dale Plank, the natural, to the top side. We've got 22 laps remaining in this 50-lap affair. Heading off the back stretches, Kevin Federley. We've got a car slowing on the front stretch to the 49 of Billy Dunn. Probably a handling issue here as he may come to a stop. That'll tighten up the field. Things are starting to get interesting, Tim.
Well, what has happened here is Billy Dunn clipped one of the Ute tires down in corner number 4 as he saw the front end kind of get a little airborne. Not able to patch ice somewhere as he'll find a way to get bite on it without spikes. Green flag set to come out this time by Dale Plank, your leader, Kerry Terrance. And look at Terrance using the inside groove off of corner number 4. Green flag is back out. Into corners 1 and 2 they go, and Billings tries to get by Terrance off of 2. Couldn't quite get the job done. Here comes Chris Rabbie in a bid for 3rd down the back straightaway. Billings and Rabbie 3rd and 4th right now, but up in front it's Plank and Terrance 1 and 2.
So Kerry Terrance says, Dale, show me the way around this racetrack and I'll show my way around you. They come out of 2 down to the back stretch. Dale Plank, your race leader. Kerry Terrance in a very comfortable second here. Is he looking to pick his spot? Is he looking to give him the old how's it going move as they come off the turns? We've got 18 laps to go. Dale Plank continues to lead.
Dale Plank has never won the Memorial Cup here at Mohawk International Raceway. Would like to change that here tonight as Kerry Terrance, who has won this race twice, comes off of corner number 4 in the number 2 spot. Chris Rabbie, your defending race winner, is 3rd. Danny O'Brien losing some ground to Matt Billings as Billings rides in 4th. O'Brien is 5th. Good move out there by Whitaker to pull up into the number 6 spot, passing Brian McDonald as the field battles off of corner number 4. Team Twin Leaf once again added for 1st and 2nd.
Boy, Kerry Terrance is closing very, very, very fast up.
Got Gardner Stone spun to the outside of corner number 4. He got a little high coming into turn number 3. And ready to go. Dale Plank trying to hold off Kerry Terrance. Terrance slipping to the high side here, up off the corner they work. Green flag is out. And I'll tell you what, Chris Rabbie snookers Kerry Terrance on that restart. Tries to slide up in front of him, and he does. Kerry Terrance loses a couple of spots, though. Now we're 3 wide back for 4th as Luke Whitaker gets into the mix as well. Up off of corner number 4, it is Dale Plank, your new leader. Up in front, Chris Rabbie is your new 2nd place man.
Rabbie looking to be a 2-time back-to-back winner of the Memorial Cup. Sets his sights on the 77X of Dale Plank. We've got 15 laps to go. Plank to the top side, Rabbie to the bottom. Rabbie desperately seeking some bite coming out of turn 4, looking to close the gap between him and Plank. I don't know, Tim. Plank looks like he's on rails.
14 laps left to go, and Dale Plank has definitely got things going his way right now, but Chris Rabbie is lurking right behind him in that number 2 spot as he's working the bottom groove to perfection here. Matt Billings is 3rd, and Danny O'Brien is slowed up off of corner number 4. Your points leader coming into tonight slows almost to a stop up off the 4th turn. The caution flag will fly here. And my goodness, this so green flag back out. Into corners 1 and 2 they go. Dale Plank still holds down the lead. From fourth on back, it is anybody's race. Brian McDonald has come up to fight here as well. He rounds out your top 5. And Billy Dunn, where did he come from? He started all the way back in the tail end of the field. Caution flag flies. Casey Swamp off of corner number 2.
Yeah, Casey hopped the berm.
Wins under his belt, of course. Closing in on that 60 win mark in Dirt 358 modified competition alone. Off the corner they work. Green flag is back out. The Natural leads the way down the front straightaway. Chris Raby back there in second. Billy Dunn back to the bottom of the speedway. Charges after Terrance down the back straightaway. Terrance fights him off for the time being. Matt Billings riding there solid third. Terrance around the top side trying to get by for third as he works the front straightaway.
Billy Dunn running on a real estate on the bottom groove there. But now Billy Dunn to the bottom going into turn number 1. Billings to the top side. Looking to get around Kerry Terrance. The 01 Raby setting his sights on the 77X. I'll tell you what, Tim, that bottom groove not working right now for the 01.
Absolutely not, as he's not been able to close in on Dale Plank for the lead. We've got 10 laps left to go. Kerry Terrance sitting back there a solid third. Matt Billings drives around the top side. He is now fourth. And Billy Dunn rounds out your top 5. Then it's Brian McDonald, Gage Morey, and Luke Whitaker, Timmy O'Brien, and Laura Lattiser, and Todd Stone, your top 10.
Well, what Raby's trying to do coming out of that bottom groove, have momentum, carry him going to the high side, coming into turns 1 and 2. So far, it has not worked for Chris Raby. Dale Plank, he sets his machine on the rails coming out of turn 4. And behind him it is the 01 of Raby, the 66X of Kerry Terrance. We've got 8 laps to go in this 50-lap event.
8 laps left to go. Dale Plank not only wanting to get his second win in a row, but his first ever Memorial Cup feature win. Here comes Kerry Terrance to the top side of the speedway once again. The Twin Leaf Express works the outside groove. He's into second now past Raby with 7 to go.
7 laps to go, my friend, is exactly right. Side by side now, Terrance with a power move coming off of 2. He's got Dale Plank in front of him. One more car to get around for the 66X. He comes off of turn 4. He's got his sights set on Dale Plank here. We've got 6 laps remaining.
And good battle going on for the number 3 spot. Billy Dunn does the slide job on Raby. He goes up to spot number 3, Raby to 4th. Matt Billings rounds out your top 5 as Plank starts to enter into lap traffic. Kerry Terrance lurking behind him in the number 2 spot with 6 laps to go.
Kerry Terrance looking to run down teammate 77X of Dale Plank. Plank now, he finds some lap traffic here. Can he hide his 358 machine? Yes, he does. He threads the needle going into 4. Going into turn 3 now. As it coming out of 4, it'll be Dale Plank trying to make his way up through here. Actually, that was Kerry Terrance threading the needle. We've got 4 laps remaining here as Dale Plank doing a fantastic job up front.
It's going to be down to these 2 drivers here. Billy Dunn back there in the 3rd spot, trying to clear himself of all the lap traffic as they come up off of corner number 4. 3 laps left to go this time for the Natural as he works in corners 1 and 2 with a big lead on Kerry Terrance.
I'll take you the rest of the way as Tim will head down trackside with tonight's 50-lap Memorial Cup feature winner. So Plank continues to lead. We've got 2 laps remaining for Dale Plank, looking to become a multi-time winner here in this 50-lap Frenchie's Chevy Runs Deep Series Memorial Cup. Plank now on the backstretch. He's found his way into lap traffic, able to hide his fine racing machine. Kerry Terrance in second, followed by Billy Dunn, the 01, as well of Chris Raby, the 74 of Matt Billings. White hanky on the field for Dale Plank. Plank now on the bottom, coming out of 2. He's down to the backstretch. He'll head into turns 3 and 4. He is 2 steering wheels turns away from winning tonight's 50-lap event. Bringing it off of 4. It is the 77X Dale Plank, your 50-lap Memorial Cup winner here at Mohawk International Raceway, followed by Kerry Terrance, Billy Dunn, the 01 of Chris Raby, the 74 of Matt Billings. Another fine, fantastic finish, 2 in a row for the 77X of Dale Plank.
And there he is on a for the 2nd straight week in his first ever Memorial Cup at MIR, the Natural Dale Plank. And, of course, he had a great weekend last weekend, 2 wins, starting off the weekend in fine style again, my friend. Congratulations, your first Memorial Cup, 2nd win in a row.
Yeah, it's great. This This Twin Leaf Express car is just awesome. Steel Pro car, Kevlar engine, and it just seems to be good, top, bottom, middle, wherever I put it, and it's a blast to drive.
You had a good season last year, but it really seems like things are clicking on all 8 cylinders, literally, for you and your entire team. What's been the difference between last year as opposed to this year?
Just basically doing more homework over the winter, with shock setups and overall setups, and just trying to get smarter. I've been doing this for 20-some years, and I learn something new every day. So, just advancing as a team. I see 66 on the board there. He was there, and then he was back, and then he's right there. So, both cars are awesome. They're both prepared the same, and it's good to have this one too.
Yeah, you've won so many races over your career, and of course, you've been doing this a long time. The wins keep getting sweeter and sweeter as the years go on.
Yeah, definitely, because I keep getting older.
For sure, Dale. Anybody you want to thank real quick?
Yeah, definitely Kerry Terrance for everything, and Josh and Frank and Jeff and Nate and everybody at the shop that helps out. Can't do it without them, and Twin Leaf Express and Diner, Direct Subs, and the whole team.
Absolutely, Dale. Congratulations, win number 2 of the year. Let's keep it going tomorrow night, shall we?
I'm going to try.
All right, how about that? For the natural, Dale Plank, his second win of the season, and Scotty Kupal and his fine Go Green. So, still lots of bite left out there, and these pro stock drivers will use that to their advantage here.
So Alan Peters, he fires his machine off of Mike White, gets to the outside, goes top shelf in turn number 1. Car getting twisted is Tremblay. He'll go around and collect a few tires, and that'll bunch things up in back of the field. Everybody's going to drive away.
How about that one?
That you don't see too often. Alan Peters fires his machine coming off of top turn number 4, followed by Mike White, Stefan LeBrun, Jody Swamp, and the 8 of Mark Malone.
As they work down the back straightaway, Mike White doing a really good job up there, trying to get by Alan Peters for the lead. Stefan LeBrun lurking back there in spot number 3. Here comes Jody Swamp to the inside, then in the 69, as the number 8 of Mark Lalone works from spot number 5. It's Alan Peters, your leader at lap 2.
Peters enjoying it up front very much so. Mike White to the bottom. He's got Jody Swamp to contend with along with Stefan LeBrun. White will drift a little high. LeBrun will get on the blinders now. Going to drive 3 wide going into turns number 3. But Mike White going to stick it to the bottom. He'll drift actually now to the high side. Alan Peters all alone up front.
And Jody Swamp right there on the inside in spot number 2, or at least trying to get by Mike White for that second spot as they work the back straightaway. It's Stefan LeBrun back to 4th. Lalone rounds out your top 5. Then it is P.J. Peters and Rock Oban in that order. Up off of corner number 4, Alan Peters continues to show the way as Mike White loses a little bit of ground to the leaders.
2 KG veterans up front. Peters to the top side. Jody Swamp to the bottom. They both know their way around this fine clay oval here this evening. Now Stefan LeBrun, he'll look to get to that number 3 spot. But Jody Swamp setting his machine down low, starting to gain on the leader, Alan Peters.
As they work up off of corner number 4 and down the home straightaway here, Jody Swamp loves the bottom side of this speedway, and Alan Peters trying to take the long way around. And right now holding off Swamp for the number 1 spot is Stefan LeBrun looking back there in spot number 3. Mark Lalone has had a stout season so far. Finished 3rd the Mohawk Race Parts Series opener at Cornwall last week. He runs 4th right now.
So Jody Swamp looking to gain on Alan Peters. Peters up by himself to the top shelf. Peters down the backstretch. He'll gain a little bit here on Jody Swamp as he starts to pull away. Jody Swamp, Tim, finding some good bite in turns 3 and 4.
Absolutely. He works up off the bottom side of the speedway. A drag race to the line. It will be Jody Swamp leading lap number 7 as they work down the back straightaway this time around. Alan Peters working the outside groove again down the back straightaway, and Alan Peters will take away the number 1 spot going into turn number 3. Mark Lalone is right there with him now as they work up off of corner number 4. Stefan LeBrun and Mike White round out your top 5.
So it is side by side, 2 by each, as it is Jody Swamp on the bottom. Peters on the top side, but here comes Mark Lalone looking to make his move for that number 2 spot. We got a couple cars slowing on the front stretch. The 69W of Owen Swamp slows a bit going into turn number 1, but it's still Peters and Jody Swamp up front. Mark Lalone looking to split the difference as they come off of 4.
And I tell you what, these top 2 drivers out here, running very, very well side by side, not making any contact whatsoever. Here comes Mark Lalone to the top side. Mark Lalone has had a stout season so far here in 2012 as they're 3 wide up off the corner. Caution flag waves for Chris. But the track championship comes up quicker than you know it, and it'll be soon to decided here, probably about 10 or 15 weeks' time.
So it'll be Jody Swamp, Alan Peters. Swamp on the bottom, Peters to the top side. They have not switched grooves whatsoever. Peters now to the high side, but here comes Stefan LeBrun out of 2 now. He looks to split the difference, thread the needle, if you will. Peters remains on the top side. LeBron looking for an opening here. Jody Swamp coming out of 4. He will be your new race leader as he goes to the flag stand.
As they work down the front straightaway into corners 1 and 2, Jody Swamp using that bottom side to his liking right now, and Alan Peters trying to make the top side work as they work down the back straightaway. Mark Lalone is challenging for second, though, as they head off into corners 3 and 4. Stefan LeBrun lurking behind him in spot number 4. PJ Peters completes the top 5.
Smooth is fast, and fast is smooth, and that is exactly the case for Jody Swamp here this evening as Mark Lalone now takes over the number 2 spot. He sets his sights on the racing leader, the 69 machine of Jody Swamp, a multi-time winner here at the Mohawk International Raceway in the Pro Stock Division and back in the days of the Street Stock Division. Jody Swamp continues to lead on lap number 12.
And I'll tell you what, he is working hard here as he works down the back straightaway. Mark Lalone is not done yet, though. He works down the back straightaway, closes in on your leader as they go off into corners 3 and 4. Allen and PJ Peters at each other for 3rd and 4th. Stefan LeBrun holding on to 5th, but last week's winner, Dion Oaks, is right there with him.
Jody Swamp still your race leader. Mark Lalone looking for a little bite on the top side. Now he comes down to 2 on the backstretch. It will be Jody Swamp and Mark Lalone. Jody Swamp find a little extra bite there on the bottom, but Mark Lalone isn't done yet. He's got 2 laps. Can he complete the pass? It'll be Jody Swamp continues to lead on lap 13.
So Jody Swamp continues to lead the way. Dion Oaks up and over a tire in the infield. Actually, he collected 2 of them over there as the caution flag will wave here.
Is the distance
clever, and he is trying to keep those tires as cool as possible as they work up off of corner number 4. Jody Swamp, Mark Lalone. Mark Lalone has been fast all night long in that number 8 machine. PJ Peters has been ever so quick as well. 5 laps left to decide this one. Mark Lalone goes to the top side. He may have something for Swamp as he worked the back straightaway. Swamp a little bit loose off of 2, and Mark Lalone, your new leader, as they head into turns 3 and 4 this time by Mark Lalone, setting sail on the top side, but Jody Swamp battles back to the bottom.
And they're going to have their hands full here in about half a lap with a 73 of PJ Peters. Lalone goes back to the top side. Jody Swamp, he'll stay on the bottom. Down the backstretch they'll go. Lalone, your new race leader, he's all by himself. But here comes PJ Peters. He's looking to challenge the 69 of Jody Swamp for that number 2 position. The top side starting to come in just a little bit, Tim.
Absolutely. 3 laps left to decide it here, as a good battle going on for the number 5 spot as Rock Oban has gotten around Alan Peters in the 88. He is now 5th. Dave Sagan has now moved up into the number 7 spot as they come off of corner number 4. 2 laps left to go for Mark Lalone.
Mark Lalone, 2 laps left for him. He's your race leader, followed by Jody Swamp, the 73 machine of PJ Peters. And we've got caution on the field as a white tire was clipped here and rolling down to the front stretch.
All right, well,
things are rolling here tonight, folks.
Literally. And I would not want to stop that with my bare hands. Whoever's on that four-wheeler is a brave soul.
And the pace truck saw it at the last minute, I do believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Licks, but I tell you what, he has got a strong piece underneath him right now. He could very well steal the win away from Jody Swamp. He's got the lead. 2 laps left to go to decide this one. Green flag back out. We're underway. And into corners 1 and 2 they go. Jody Swamp battles back to the bottom one more time. He is not finished with this one just yet, as Swamp battles from the bottom. PJ Peters is 3rd, followed by Stefan LeBrun and Alan Peters, your top 5. Off of corner number 4, white flag being displayed. Top 2 drivers side by side for the lead as they come to the white flag. Mark Lalone has it. Jody Swamp on the bottom, still battling for this one. It's a two-horse race right now as we work the back straightaway. Mark Lalone to the top side. Jody Swamp down low. Mark Lalone has never won here at MIR. Jody Swamp trying to get back to victory lane. They're side by side up off the corner. Checkered flag. Mark Lalone at the line. We'll have to check with scoring on this one at this time.
Tic Tacs, Tim, I am excited. That was a fantastic finish. He's getting out of the machine. The 69, Jody Swamp. Have a few words, tracks. We'll have a few words here. Trackside with Jody Swamp. Getting hugs and kisses from his mother and his nephews. Jody, my man, that is one of the best features and finishes I've ever seen. You're getting a little more salt than pepper in your hair now. How's it feel?
Well, I colored that gray myself. That was great. That was awesome. That was the best racing I ever had. Thanks to all my pit crew here. We couldn't have did it without them.
Well, one of the things, Tim, you gave us a little volume. Thank you very much. One of the things, Jody, you stayed on the bottom. You didn't move up. Did you like what you had on the bottom?
Well, as soon as we took off there, I knew the bottom was pretty tacky. I'm used to racing there, and as soon as I started edging forward from the 88 car there, I knew it was the spot to keep.
Who would you like to thank tonight, Jody?
All my pit crew right here. Them guys are the ones, and my chassis builder.
Thank you very much, Jody. Congratulations. Buy plenty of those videotapes. Anything else tonight?
It feels great. I'm going to get drunk tonight.
When did you start drinking?
Oh boy, here we go.
Sudden death.
20 laps for the Sportsmans to conclude the night. We're under green. Off and running, Josh Brockway to the early lead.
Brockway will lead this early 20-lap affair. He goes to the high side. He's got the young hot shoot Thomas Cook in pursuit, but going to the outside of him is Stacy. Stacy looking to make a name for himself here as they go 2 by 2, side by each. The field starting to get twisted just a little bit. Bonsai move by Van Brocklin back in the field.
As they come up off the corner, it is Josh Brockway, your early race leader. Thomas Cook charges to the inside, picks off the number 2 spot from Mike Stacy. Here comes Jessica Power to the top side in the 52. They're 3 wide for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th out there. Battling hard. Dan Gilbert over the front end of Wyatt Mullen. Keeps it straight, keeps it going though. Up in front, Josh Brockway setting a torrid pace.
Brockway all alone up front, and as the youth show behind him, Jenna David, she works herself in the number 2 position. She'll set her sights on the 70 machine of Josh Brockway. Now coming up into the number 3 spot, the hard-charging 52, Jessica Power. So you've got a young gentleman and 2 ladies in hot pursuit.
And I'll tell you what, Jenna David has looked very impressive all evening long. Jessica Power works her way up to the number 3 spot as they go off into corners 3 and 4. David a little bit loose in turn number 4. That's going to allow for Power to close in. Here comes Josh Van Brocklin to the inside of Thomas Cook. He'll pick off 4th as they go off into corners 1 and 2.
So Brockway having his fun here tonight on the backstretch. He's got almost a half straightaway lead here on the rest of the field. We've got 16 more laps to go. Jenna David in 2nd, Jessica Power in 3rd, Van Brocklin in 4th. Rounding out your top 5 is Thomas Cook.
Nolan Swamp is 6th, followed by Brent Kelsey and Tammy Jalbert. And from there on back, it's anybody's ball game. Dylan Evoy was 3 wide with Mike Arquette and Mike Stacy. He cracks into the top 10 now. Caution free so far as Josh Brockway leads him down in front. And Jessica Power having a battle with the number 2 of Jenna David for that 2nd spot. As I'll tell you what, from about 6th on back, it's anybody's race right now.
4 wide coming out of turn number 4, deep back into the field. I'll tell you what, Brockway, he's got his work cut out for him here. Lap traffic going to be an issue. Jenna David very comfortably in 2nd now. She's got the 52 machine of Jessica Power. Van Brocklin looking to set his sights on the race leaders. Power to the outside of Jenna David for the number 2 position as they head into turns 3.
And I'll tell you what, Jessica Power picked up her first career feature win at Brockville last year. Would love nothing better than to get a Mohawk win. Josh Van Brocklin down to her inside, but she's chasing after Josh Brockway at this time. They go to the top side of the speedway. Van Brocklin on the bottom, Power to the top side. They're still side by side as they enter corner number 3.
Brockway now lap traffic, Thunder Anderson Jr. to contend with. Van Brocklin now looking to run down the leader. The track racing service starting to take a lot of rubber. We're almost at the halfway point. Brockway, Tim, he's on the backstretch all by himself.
Absolutely, and of course, half straightaway lead for Josh Brockway in that 70 machine. Meanwhile, Josh Van Brocklin up to the back bumper of Thunder Anderson Jr. as Jessica Power lurking back there in that third spot. Jenna David a strong fourth. Battle for fifth between your defending track champion Dylan Evoy and Nolan Swamp here as Brent Kelsey lurks back there in the sixth spot. But up front, Josh Brockway, we've not seen him in a long time out here, but we're glad to have him back. He is charging hard down the front stretch.
Certainly not allowing, and we got a car twisting on the backstretch. It is Steve Billings coming to a stop. Neil Provost, correction, thank you very much, Mr. Tim Baltz. There, the big lead that Josh Brockway just had went away on lap number.
Kicking something and taking names, and that's what Josh Brockway trying to do, but Josh Van Brocklin has other ideas. Green flag is back out. We're back underway, and into corners 1 and 2 they go. Brockway still holds that outside line. Here comes Van Brocklin in a bid for the lead down the back straightaway as Jenna David, Dylan Evoy going at it for fourth and fifth. Evoy down to the inside trying to get by David for the lead, or for fourth. Meanwhile, battle for the lead up front.
Van Brocklin now your new race leader. He went to the inside coming out of 4, and he overtook Brockway. Brockway battles back on the number 2 turn outside. We've got cars spinning on the backstretch. Thunder Anderson Jr.
Wow, telling you what, we're about ready to have a great finish here in this one. Josh Van Brocklin, Josh Brockway, your top 2. Under green we go. Green flag is back in the air. And down the front straightaway, Evoy and Jessica Power got hooked to one another, and that opens the door for Kyle Wilson to drive to the top side and go from 6th to 3rd down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Brockway back to the outside part of the speedway, looking to get by Van Brocklin down the front stretch.
So Van Brocklin continues to lead. Brockway putting on an impressive performance here tonight for him. As now Kyle Wilson in the number 3 spot. Brockway to the top side. Wilson going to take pursuit here. And Van Brocklin going to hug the bottom here, Tim. But I'll tell you what, Josh Brockway, pretty good account for himself here this evening.
Absolutely, as they work their way up off of corner number 4 and down the home straightaway. Van Brocklin continues to lead it. Then it is Josh Brockway, Kyle Wilson back there in that 3rd spot in the 14. Dylan Evoy is 4th. Jessica Power completes the top 5 as they head off into corners 3 and 4. Van Brocklin and Brockway and Kyle Wilson, top 3 nose to tail off of corner number 4.
So Van Brocklin, he's got 5 more laps to get this completed. He's got Brockway and Kyle Wilson, the Joyceville cadet, to contend with. Van Brocklin sticks it to the bottom. Kyle Wilson now going to go to the outside in turn 3 on Josh Brockway. Brockway's going to drift up a little bit and pinch him off coming off of 4.
And Dylan Evoy is going to take advantage of that. Jumps down to the bottom side of the speedway. He goes up to 3rd as they head off into corners 3 and 4. Josh Brockway to the outside once again. Here comes Dylan Evoy in a bid for 2nd off of corner number 4. Your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place cars go 3 wide into corners 1 and 2. Kyle Wilson to the top side. Dylan Evoy to the bottom. Josh Brockway in the middle. Wilson runs out of real estate. Caution flag flies for Neil Provost, who spun to the inside of corner number 4. Everybody should be able to get by his 2nd place position back. So Josh Brockway will attempt to run down Josh Van Brocklin. We're back under green. Into corners 1 and 2 they go. Brockway looking to take it to the top side, trying to run down Van Brocklin at the finish here. Brockway running down Van Brocklin here. They go into turns 3 and 4, and Brockway is there. Up off of corner number 4, Van Brocklin pulls away by about a car length. 2 more laps to go for Josh Van Brocklin. Looking for his first win here in Mohawk since the end of the season in September. But Josh Brockway has never won a sportsman feature here at Mohawk. Closes the gap into corners 3 and 4. Here comes Dylan Evoy with a challenge to the top side. Evoy trying to take the long way around off of corner number 4. White flag displayed for Van Brocklin. Evoy lurking to the top side as Jenna David has made contact with the fence. The front end gone away on the number 2. And a checkered flag will be out this time by. Not done yet. Dylan Evoy to the top side. Last week's feature winner off of corner number 4. It's Josh Van Brocklin to the checkers first. Evoy, Brockway, Brent Kelsey, Jessica Power at the line for 5th. And I'll tell you what, an unusual twist of events out there, leading Josh Brockway.
The number 10, Josh Van Brocklin. Get a few words trackside with Josh here. Hey, buddy, great race.
Thank you.
So take us back. You worked your way up to the front, and then once you got by Brockway, you kind of set the course for the rest of the feature.
Yeah, he was checked out, so it was hard to tell if he was a lot faster than I was. I was running the bottom, and it was working good there for a few cars. And then towards the end, the restart helped us, and I think the motor's maybe starting to skip a little bit, so I don't know if we're going to make it, but the bottom worked for us.
Josh, anybody you'd like to thank at this time?
My family, my mom, and made it tonight for the first time. My father, all the crew, my wife.
So now your mom has to come back. She's your lucky charm, right?
Yeah, I think so. So she's in for the long haul.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to number 10, tonight's Dirt Car Sportsman winner, Josh Van Brocklin. Back up to you, Tim.